はい、皆さん、ヤッホー、ラスベガスでございます。イエーイということで、現在はですね、サハラホテルっていうね、ホテルがあるんですけど、その無料駐車場に停めさせてもらっております。ということで、バッパライフのお時間でございます。今日はですね、地元のラスベガスの人とこのねラスベガスをねぶらりね観光してみたいなと思います。ラスベガスの地元の人が紹介するリアルラスベガスってどんな感じなのかっていうのをね皆さんにもシェアできたらなと思うんですけど、今回はですねハロートークさんの動画提供ということで、メインチャンネルでもね何回か紹介させてもらったんですけど、ハロートークはですね全世界にいるユーザーと、語学の交換勉強ができたり、僕もスペイン語ね勉強したかったんで現地のスペイン人とスペイン語勉強し合えたり、向こうはですね日本語勉強したいということで日本語でこうね会話したりみたいなね、ボイスでもね、語学教え合えたり、あとテレビ電話とか、あと現地でですね知り合いたいなとかね思う時とかも結構友達作りとかでもね僕はアプリとして使わせていただけているんですけど、皆さんもしよかったら概要欄にリンク貼ってるんでチェックイットアウトしてみてくださいということで、地元の友達を待ってみたいなと思います。 OK ということで皆さん今回紹介してくれるジェイコブです。 Nice to meet you.
こんにちは。
こんにちは。You're very tall, man.
I am.
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, so you live here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
So you're locals?
For over 10 years.
Over 10 years, amazing. So where are you from originally?
California.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. And you moved to here. Why did you move to here?
For the same reason everyone else leaves California. All the same reasons.
Okay.
So
do you do the gambling also?
I do. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do some gambling here as part of my content, so it's part of my business.
Yeah. So 皆さん、彼も、YouTube やってるんで、下にねディスクリプション貼ってるんで、ラスベガスのことはもう彼に聞いてくださいということで。So I say like
You told him to follow.
Yeah, like if you wanna know about Las Vegas, just follow you know.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So let's go, yeah?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So here the hotel it's called Sahara, right? Sahara Hotels.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one is called Sahara. So we're at the north end of the strip.
Okay.
So this place gets a lot of tourists who come here,
Yeah.
mostly tourists, but they do get some locals as well.
All right.
So
How much is the one night?
when I stayed here one night, well actually I gambled enough here that they gave me the room.
Yeah.
My gambling earned me a comp.
Okay.
So, but here you get rooms during the week for under $100 here.
$100.
Yeah, for under. But the north end of the strip is generally going to be a bit cheaper than the center and the south.
Ah, okay.
So
Thanks. What do you say? Nice cameras.
he said, "Nice camera." He likes
Okay.
your gear, man. All right, let's do this.
OK、ここが、サハラホテルというところでちょっと中入りたいなと思います。おお、早速カジノ。So do you think that local people play here or also or no?
Yeah, they get some locals who come here, certainly. They get mostly tourists, but they do get some locals here.
Okay.
So,
But tourists normally go to the central, right?
no, they'll come like this anywhere from like this area right here, the Sahara Hotel, like the Strat Hotel,
Yeah.
all the way down to like Mandalay Bay. That 4-mile area is going to be vast majority of it's going to be tourists.
Okay.
Locals mostly don't come to the strip a whole lot, but if they do, places like this are likely to get a higher percentage of locals than the other major properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the tourists and then local go different place. You told me, right? Like
Frequently, like so the
Yeah.
strip where we're at right here,
Yeah.
this is where most locals do not go. Locals are more likely to go to the downtown
Okay.
area, like where Fremont Street is,
Yeah.
where they have the big canopy that goes over,
Right.
or they go off strip.
Okay.
So just anything that's not in downtown or not here on Las Vegas Boulevard. 'Cause
Right.
there's lots of casinos outside of here. People just don't realize it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why local people go outside? Because like different the bet or something, different money.
Oh yeah, because I mean it's cheaper to gamble, so you
Okay.
don't have to bet as much. The slots are usually looser, the table minimums are lower, the food's cheaper, the drink is cheaper.
Okay.
I mean,
Why you don't go to the center? Eh?
that's why most tourists, they're not going to come to the strip, or most locals are not going to come to the strip at all.
Okay.
But there's a few strip properties that locals are a little more prone to go to.
Right. Interesting. そう皆さん見てください。これがラスベガスの感じのです。すごいですね。なんか、スクリーンみたいな感じですよね。How much you can win, like if you win like a jackpot or something.
Oh man, what depends on the machine.
Depends
so
on
if
the
we're
machine,
looking
okay.
at, like this one shows you right here. It'll tell you. So the biggest you can win right here. There you go.
100,000.
Basically 8,500.
Wow.
But there's slot machines where like it could be millions.
Really?
Yeah, your chance of winning are very, very, very small, but it could be millions. So
Wow.
yeah, it just depends on the machine you're playing.
Okay. Wow.
You know.
Okay. I don't understand any rules, man. This one quite difficult, man. So how it's going to be, you know? How we can get?
Yeah, so these machines, like anything you see like this where it's very digital is going to be newer compared to like old slot machines where it's like the mechanical reel.
Yeah.
So anything like this, though, you can come to the game rules. It gets
there's
all,
rules. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. And it's a lot. Like you can see all the different rules, like all the ways it works. All this, right? Here's the amount you win if you get certain results on it. So look, there's a lot. So you can read all of this.
Wow.
Right? This is just one game. Okay. So lots of games, and there could be a different version of this game. So it could be the same game, but different version. So, you know, at the end of the day, you just press the button and you have fun.
Okay.
It's a simple way to put it.
Yeah. So do you think it's easy to lose kind of a couple $100? Quite easy, like half hour.
You could, you could. I mean, you could lose a couple $100 depending on how much you want to bet.
皆さん、今さっきですね、中入ったんですけど、中めちゃめちゃすごかったです。まあ撮影できなかったんで、携帯でしかできなかったんですけど、プールもついてるし、しかもここ無料の駐車場やし、しかもあと料理も中心街に比べてもっと安いってことで、皆さんここ来た方がいいです。このサハラホテル。まあちょっと中心街から離れてるんですけど、無料でプールも使えるし、Drink also cheaper here, right?
Yeah, here the drinks will be a little bit cheaper than like the big casinos like Center Strip and South Strip.
Yeah.
So, but when you go off Strip, the drinks will be even cheaper than here.
That's amazing because you don't need to stay these hotels and then you can enjoy pools and then the food cheaper also, right?
Yeah, like along the Las Vegas Strip, as far as like value properties, like this is definitely one of the better value ones along the strip. With the free parking, the pool anybody can go to for free,
and also towels. Free.
Well, that's everywhere. They all give you free towels to use at the pool. That's free, at least for now.
Okay? Amazing. So you do recommend the people to come here instead of going like Centros, like Caesar Palace and something?
I mean, if people say, hey, like a good value property, then I would say lots of times that's what this place offers. They have to offer these kinds of deals to people, right? More value to get people to go away from the big properties to come over here. So, you know, they have to, just like we go off strip, the off strip places usually have to offer better value to pull people away from all the big ones here on the strip.
Yeah.
So it's just how they compete to get business.
I see. But it's good to know for like, you know, like me, like poor person, you know, coming here, just pack up theirs and enjoy full day in the beach and the pools, you know.
Yeah,
that's nice, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a pretty easy spot to park for free, come in, grab drink, grab food, hang out for a bit, and
amazing,
move on with the day.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next place,
Let's go.
So how is the life here to live in the, you know, Las Vegas? It's expensive, difficult, or it's okay?
Depends on what you're comparing it to. So like when I first moved here over a decade ago, I moved here from San Jose, California, where it was significantly cheaper to live here. Much cheaper. Much cheaper than the San Francisco Bay Area, much cheaper than Los Angeles, than San Diego. The cost of living here has increased, but it's still cheaper compared to those places.
All right.
So as far as like average cost of living across the United States, I think Vegas now is just a little bit above the average, just like a few % above the average. So it's not nearly as expensive as the, you know, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, San Francisco, those kinds of cities.
Right.
But it's a little more expensive than Phoenix. And like I think a little more expensive than Jacksonville and some other large cities across the U.S.
So how much is the average cost, like here per month?
So it depends, of course, on which part you're living in, because now the Las Vegas area is close to 3 million people.
Wow. So,
you know, for some people to find an apartment, like say you want to be like in downtown area or even, you know, outside of this tourist area, you could certainly be $1,500 or more for like a studio or one bedroom, right? So again, but it's also going to depend on how nice it is too. So you know, the nicer the apartment, the more it's going to cost. So home prices now I think are right in the range of around 400,000.
400,000.
The median home price, so somewhere in that ballpark. You know, so I said cost has gone up, but it's still Generally better than a lot of other major metro areas.
So what kind of jobs people do here?
So obviously people know we have lots of hospitality jobs, lots of people, hotels, casinos,
Hospitality,
yeah, people work in nightlife, people who work in
what about the mining? Outside of
restaurants.
here, there's mining jobs, right? Also.
Yes, that's going to be more like northern Nevada,
Yeah.
north central Nevada. If you're up in that area, mining is a huge industry here in this state. Lots of people don't realize it, but it's a huge industry. And then
I hear like there's huge dams around here, and then that's big economy too, you know. I hear,
yeah, all the mining is definitely a big part of it. Just because down here in southern Nevada, where most of the people live, so much of the focus is on tourism and hospitality.
Right.
So those are big here, but also same kind of jobs you have anywhere else. People work in education, right? Law enforcement, firefighters. People work in banks. People work in restaurants. I mean, people have small businesses they operate in real estate or stuff like that. So, certain things you're going to find anywhere.
Right. And do you think most people come here, like for example, you from like California and then you moved to here, the reason why people come to live in, what's the name, Las Vegas? Because of the casino, do you think? Or maybe just cheaper than, like, let's say Los Angeles or something?
Oh, the vast majority of people who come here, they do not come here because of casinos.
Oh, yeah.
They come here for economic reasons. So
I see.
So yeah, we have a huge population, probably around 100,000 or so people who moved here from Hawaii.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. Why Hawaii, from Hawaii?
Well, if you think about it again from an economic perspective, it makes sense because Las Vegas is a place that depends a lot on hospitality.
Right.
So think of Hawaii. What's a huge part of Hawaii's economy? Hospitality, tourism, travel.
I see.
So if you work in, if you've worked in the big hotels or done tourism or that kind of thing in Hawaii, your skills can transfer much easier to here.
I see.
In a place like Las Vegas, and our cost of living here is much cheaper than it is like, in Honolulu and that sort of thing.
Right.
So yeah, Vegas is referred to as the ninth island for that reason.
Right.
But yeah, very few people move here just for gambling.
Okay.
Yeah, the vast majority move here for economic opportunity.
Right. Because like I visited under the ground, like there's people living in the tunnels, and then most of the people I ask, they told me like they come here because of the gamblings, and then they lost everything, and then they start taking drug and stuff like this. So I thought maybe most of the people, but like maybe just under the ground is just few people compared to the whole population. Most of the people just like working in hospitality and stuff like this, right?
Yeah, I mean among that demographic where people are in that situation, I could certainly see why that would be more common.
Yeah.
People who came here and maybe they either had an addiction to gambling already and they moved here, which obviously made it worse, or they just that's addiction to gambling also turns into addictions in other areas of their life.
I see.
So, among people in that situation, I can certainly see that being the case, but as I understand it, people who actually have like a gambling addiction is a very, very small percentage. I think it's like, from what I had been told by someone who's been in gaming law for years, it's about 2% of the population.
Oh, okay. That's not so many.
Yeah, but if someone may have an addiction with gambling, they may also have it with alcohol or already with drug use, and for an period of time they were able to still maintain their lifestyle until eventually the addiction aspect got so bad in one or several areas that they wound up being homeless, and then eventually wound up moving into the tunnel system.
Right. Yeah. And here so easy to get the it's cheap. I hear like $20 for the one, I don't know how much grams of crystal meth and stuff like this, and it seems like a very easy to get those kind of things around here.
I mean, it's called
maybe everywhere in US, no? Not same as Japan. So.
Everywhere in the US. I mean, lots of stuff that you think of like something that's like dark and underground like that.
Yeah.
That happens in pretty much any major city across the US. The thing with Vegas though is it's known for being Sin City, right? So vices, people who have a vice, right? You can find vices just about anywhere in the US. The thing with Vegas that makes it unique is the fact it's called Sin City, and essentially markets and caters to those kinds of adult activities and those kinds of vices and things like that.
Right.
So that's what makes Las Vegas unique. So, whether you have a vice here, whether it's drugs or gambling or alcohol or anything like that, you can do it in just about any major city. But in Las Vegas, where it's, there is no last call. We serve alcohol 24 hours a day.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. There's only...
so depending on the state, it's different, where to buy the alcohols and all the stuff. Like here, 24 hours. I think LA was not maybe 24 hours. I can't remember.
Correct.
Yeah.
So in California, at 2 a.m., they have to stop selling alcohol, then they can start it again at 6 a.m.
Okay.
So, but here in Nevada, no, there is no last call. Gambling is throughout the state.
Yeah.
At the state level, it is legal, but there are 2 towns in Nevada that do not allow gambling.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Two small towns. One of them is Boulder City, which is like about 30 minutes or so from here.
Yeah.
And the other, that's like where Hoover Dam is.
Okay.
Over there. And the other is Panaca.
Okay.
So, which is much more rural Nevada.
So Las Vegas is only the cities you can do the gambling in US. Like for example, New York not allowed, right? No, it's not illegal.
No, there's lots of other cities that do have
Right.
casinos and allow gambling.
Right.
A lot of it is on tribal land.
Okay.
So it's got to be on native land, but yeah, I believe it's only Utah and Hawaii, if I remember correctly, where the state does not allow any gambling at all.
Right.
So
that's so interesting. Depending on the state, like all the different kind of rules,
Oh yeah, there's different. Yeah, the states have different rules for casinos. There's different rules for like tribal casinos too.
Right.
So yeah, the gambling is a very heavily regulated industry, much more than people probably realize.
Yeah. Okay, so what's that here? What's the name of the place here? Caesar Palace? No.
No. Caesar's Palace is not far from here.
Okay.
But this place is called Palazzo.
Okay.
So Venetian and Palazzo are 2 different, they're sister hotels and casinos.
Okay.
So this side is Palazzo. It's actually a little bit smaller. The Venetian side is even bigger. But you can walk in between them.
Oh,
So yeah, so there are, I think, 5,000 hotel rooms between these 2 here. And you'll see the casino floor is massive.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So how much does it cost to stay here one night?
Here, I've yet to stay here myself, but every room here is a suite. So you're probably looking like a couple $100 a night, plus the resort fee, which I'm not sure what that is, but it's probably going to be at least $30-something, plus tax on top of that, so maybe $40-something just for that fee as well.
So most of the hotels, they charge for resort fee?
Yeah, most do. Not all, but most.
I see. But I realized like Las Vegas is quite cheap hotels, like when I check the booking.com and stuff, like normally hotels cheaper than LA and then other places. Yeah.
So that's one of the things with Vegas that people oftentimes don't realize. Like the standard for Vegas is so high for what you can get as far as bang for your buck, because Vegas was built on being an exceptionally cheap place to come. Because so much of the gambling people did would make up for having, the cheap rooms, cheap food, cheap drink, and all that sort of thing. Yeah. Well, times have changed, and younger generations like, Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z, they don't gamble as much as baby boomers did. Yeah. So you've seen Vegas change to having more like shows and attractions and events. They've gone more towards the convention crowd, so a lot more business conventions come here. Okay. Gambling is still a huge part of it, but it's diversified more among other aspects of hospitality. All right. So with that though, the prices here have certainly gone up. Yep. So for a lot of people, especially been coming to Vegas for decades, it's no longer the affordable place it once was to them. But when you compare it to like Los Angeles, you compare it to New York, what you're getting as far as the value is oftentimes so much better. And even if you stay in a place similar to this, a similar price in New York or LA or another major city, those places do not have this many other hotels, casinos, and just entertainment attractions and things to do in such a small area. They just don't have it. So Vegas is unique in that way. Wow,
that's interesting. Okay, so where are we gonna go next?
So
you are the tour guide.
How long did I talk? 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you feel longer?
I don't know. Yeah. So cool. So yeah, sir.
So what is got here? What's got here? You got casinos and then restaurants.
Yeah. So here will probably be easy. This is just the lobby area. You see the hotel check-in right
That's
here.
hotel check-in there. Okay. Wow, that's quite fancy, eh?
It is. This is a nicer property. This is definitely known for being one of the more high-end properties.
Okay.
And they've got plenty of luxurious options here.
Right.
So here would probably be easier if we probably just cut, and then once we get on the casino floor, then I can like show you a little more.
Yeah, sure. Okay. そう皆さん見てください。めちゃくちゃでかいです。フロアもう全体が、カジノって感じで、でここに、なんていうんですか、ドリンクとかもあって、しかもテーブルでですね飲み物飲みながらギャンブリングができるって感じです。しかもお酒ですよ。ほらもう行かれちゃいますね。お酒で気持ちようなってどんどんベットしちゃってみたいな感じでここでね、ギャンブリングもできるっていう。What's up?
So here's a drink menu. These are common drink prices on the strip. So
How
see
much is
some of
that?
these $18, $12 for a mocktail, so no alcohol, $12, $16 beer, $10,
$10.
right? Bottle beer, $10. If you want water bottle, Coca-Cola, Red Bull, $6.
Okay. Do you think that's expensive or what's that?
On the strip, that's common. But once we go off strip, you'll see those prices are going to drop.
Oh.
For the local places, those prices drop.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. So you can play what kind of like games you can play there?
Yeah, so these machines, well, they have a. It's kind of hard to see if I can find one that's open.
Is that like card games or something?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, so you can play here. So this is poker,
Oh yeah, pokers.
Keno,
Yeah.
or blackjack. So
okay.
sometimes they have slots. You can play slots too. But yeah, you can sit here at the bar and gamble and play money just while you're sitting here enjoying a drink. And as you play, you know, if you gamble enough money, a lot of times they'll just give you a free drink because you're
Free
gambling.
drinks. Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
You have to
you're losing the money.
Yeah, so when you sit at the slot machine and you play, or you gamble while you're playing, like the waitress will come and they'll give you a drink for free. You don't have to pay for it. It's good to tip the waitress. You tip the server, but like you're already playing your money on the gambling, so they don't charge you for it.
That's great. But sometimes you get a lot. You get money plus free drinks, right?
Yeah, sometimes you can win. You might win money and you got a free drink.
Yeah.
So sometimes it works out well.
Yeah. But sometimes it's so dangerous because you're getting drunk and you bet more, you know?
Yeah, that can happen too. Let's see.
So today, how much did you spend the money?
In total?
Yeah.
I brought 5K to book.
Yeah.
And then
5,000.
I was down everything but like $100. And I came back. Yeah.
So you're down to your last 100 and you won
And
over
I came back,
and you
yeah.
won over 4,000 now?
I've hit like 6 bonuses. It's just been like 500-600 each or
Yeah.
so.
So this room here, where this gambling, this is called high limits.
Okay.
So this is a high limit room. So on the regular floor, you can make big bets, but if you want to make like this room, everything in here is a bigger bet. So you said you were doing $25 a spin earlier.
Minimum I think is $750.
Yeah. So on these machines, some of these machines, you go $250, $500, $1,000 or more for one spin, just one. So people who have big money to spend, they come to this room. So these are what?
So I want to ask you. So, how much did you lose the money per day for the most?
There's online gambling. It wasn't in Vegas. It was online, but it was like 24K or something.
24,000 a day.
Oh my God.
$1,000 win.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll take that.
He's got 4,100.
Yeah, and every time he presses the button, it's $15.
Oh,
But he just won.
big money,
But
eh?
he just won $36.
Wow.
So you bet more money, but you can also win bigger. So people sometimes win like 10, 20, 30, $50,000 or more in these rooms.
50,000.
Yeah.
Oh my
Just on a
God.
base, like no bonus because they're betting so big.
Right.
A line can pay that much.
Yeah, so you have way more risk. Like you said, he lost almost all 5,000, and then he won over 4,000. So
Oh my God.
might be more stress.
Yeah.
More stress, yeah.
But it also be more fun.
I think I'm gonna get the heart attack, like that. How much did you win, like most?
The 109. I won 109,001 bonus. Yeah.
Was it slots?
109.
It was slots, but they're online slots.
109K.
Yeah.
In one day he won.
It was on a $100 bet size.
God.
So yes.
Yeah.
So he,
109K dollars.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was crazy.
Crazy,
Never have
man.
had like something like that again
Yeah.
in my life.
やば
And usually I get screwed in Vegas.
Yeah.
I feel like I only have my big wins
Online.
Yeah, it's weird. Basically,
Okay.
like one of those.
Okay, so now 今彼がボーナス獲得したんで何本勝てるか。グラン
What? Stop, stop, stop.
グランジャックポットミニボーナス。
Yeah, so you got this. You almost had this. You almost
Oh
had
yeah,
this.
grand jackpot that much money.
Broke my record.
You got the mini right there. Oh, that would have been wild.
Wow.
Oh, that would have been wild.
Almost, yeah.
See? That's what they do. They get you to think you almost won, so you
Yeah.
keep playing.
Is that good?
Hey, there we
That's
go.
really good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How much you can get?
Look,
That is
it's counting right
$3
there.
grand. Yeah, now I'm in profit.
Ooh. Yeah, man.
There you go.
So how much is that?
So it's 7,200, I think.
Wow.
So they give you, if it's over 5, they'll give
Five?
you.
Can I see?
Yeah.
Okay, can I touch?
Yes.
Oh man, $5,000. Wow.
And if it's 10, they'll do a 10 like that as
Ooh,
well.
man.
Besides that, they count it out like
Right.
they just count it out in front of you.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You gonna continue today or no?
Later tonight. Yeah.
Later tonight. Oh, congratulations.
You want to go?
No. I'm alright, man. I'm
sure?
scared, man. I'm gonna be, you know.
No, it's yours.
You can't gamble in
No,
Japan.
it's okay.
You might as well do it while you're here.
It's nothing. I'm giving it to you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just want. I'm in profit.
Yeah, he's
Are you sure? Okay.
It's fine.
You have, you know, big heart now, yeah? Okay.
That's how you get
So I'm
the
gonna
good
play
karma.
this one.
Hey.
Play it
Okay.
on whatever slot you want. Yeah.
Okay, so you can teach me now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, 今からですね、プレイしたいなと思いますが、彼にもらったって$60で。
So you enter
Okay.
it there.
So I'm gonna put the money here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And this machine is called Dragon Link.
Right.
Very popular machine here in the
Okay.
US.
And then
All right, so let's see. So there you go. $20 you just put
$20.
in.
Okay. There's $20. And then what can I do now?
So right now, so there's 1 penny
Yeah.
denom. So if you press this button, it means you bet 50 pennies. So 50 cents is what you bet.
Okay. So let's try this one. Oh. What's that?
Yeah, you won 30 cents.
Okay.
You lost 20 cents overall.
Okay.
So you bet you bet 50, but you won 30. So
Oh, okay.
you're down 20 cents.
Okay. What can I do next?
You can do $1,
Okay. Let's try $1.
$1.50, so like
You can
that.
switch it,
Yep.
Okay.
and when you switch it, these go up.
Oh, okay. And then again, press again. Like, okay.
Yep. So you can change the amount.
Okay, like let's do. Okay, ということで皆さん。
Shota, how do you feel?
Yeah, man. It's so easy to lose money, man. $60がたったの10セントで、5分で終わりました。5 minutes. 10 cents I have now.
But he won so much. How come you don't win?
Oh my god. So since I came to US, it's like a huge distance between like rich people and then poor people. Vegas also like that too, or no?
I mean, there will be big differences.
Yeah.
And like in lots of large metro areas,
Okay.
you'll notice that more so. I
Right.
mean, people who live like way out like rural areas, you probably won't notice that as much. But any like large metro area, big city, you're gonna notice a bigger
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. But you know, like here inside of the like cities in the centrals, there's no homeless people, right? Like so clean, no rubbish because of the tourism, right?
In this area?
Yeah.
Oh no, you'll see homeless people. In
Oh,
this
yeah?
area. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely will. On the Las Vegas Strip, certainly.
Because what I hear, it's like like they don't want to show like homeless people in the street because in the Las Vegas is the tourism, cities, So like they're gonna put somewhere different, like just maybe like let's say like outside the city and stuff like this,
You're welcome, man. I mean, there's some effort for that, but I mean, if there's homeless people, if they're living like, if they're on the sidewalk on the strip, like, the police really, unless they're like in the walkway, they can't move them.
Yeah.
So you will see homeless people on the strip, like on the sidewalk. I mean, I've seen plenty of times. Downtown you will too.
Oh yeah.
Like there's been effort made locally to provide more options to help. Some of that comes from private charities, some of that comes from the public sector.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are definitely resources available. Like as you know, there's groups who go down into the tunnels and they offer people help. They go down there, just offer people on the regular basis, but lots of the people, But they go down there, most people turn down help. So that's part of the challenge. And if you've talked to people who work in those groups, they'll tell you that. They say, hey, we're here to offer people help, but they can't force anyone to accept the help.
Yeah.
So all they can do is offer and do what they can.
Yeah.
So there are attempts to minimize that, but no, you will certainly see homeless people in the tourist area. That is one thing that complaint that tourists who've been coming to Las Vegas for years have noted in recent years, particularly since COVID.
Right.
A higher increase in homeless.
But compared to LA, man, like there are not so many people here, man. LA's, man, everywhere, man. So many people in downtown, man.
Well, yeah, LA, across the state of California, but LA certainly is known for that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not the situation we want Las Vegas to be in.
Yeah.
So this is, we're like only a couple blocks east of the Strip right now.
Yeah.
Down a road called Twain. So like Twain and Swenson area.
Yeah.
Although Swenson, I believe the road has changed the name now to University Center.
Okay.
So a lot of locals in Vegas, they'll tell you if you see like Seagull Suites, Budget Suites, a lot of these places that are like weekly rentals, they'll tell you that's not a good sign.
Oh yeah. What do you mean no good signs?
Oh, they usually tell you like it's just not going to be a good area.
Oh, okay.
So when you see like those type of rentals, that's what people mean.
Okay, wow.
The locals will tell you, but you can see the Strip is...
Yeah, just over there, right?
Strip is right there. You can see the Sphere right there, so...
People living right here.
Yeah, so we're not far. So sometimes people are a little bit surprised to find that like the areas right near the Strip are like not the best.
So meaning it's like, how can I say? It's dangerous. Not like that, right? Like kind of as...
I mean, you're likely to find higher crime.
All right.
But... but I mean, dangerous is going to have a different meaning to different people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people talk about certain neighborhoods in other cities across the U.S.
Yeah.
So, to some people, it can be quite relative.
Okay.
But this is one of the areas where people in Vegas will usually tell you that.
Yeah.
Probably the most well-known is behind the Strat Hotel and Casino called Naked City.
Okay.
But statistically, that's not the worst neighborhood. Its reputation was really bad from the 90s.
Right.
So, but now here we are, 20, 30 plus years later, and it still has that reputation, but it's certainly not as bad as it was. But it's just because I think the Naked City is right at the north end of the Strip. It's right near an area that a lot of tourists go to, and of course locals know it as well. I think it just gets that attention a lot, but no, you have to go farther north for like the areas where you're going to find like the most homicides and that sort of thing.
Okay. So what kind of people living like that? Like kind of like I don't know how can I describe better in the English language? Like I say poor, but no, I don't know. It's not a good way to describe, right?
I mean, most of the people in there, they're going to be lower income for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, there are some bad stories about crime have made the news that come right out of these apartments here. I know of a guy years ago I spoke to who used to work security. Yeah. And not one of these exact buildings, but was actually over on Boulder Highway, which the locals will tell you too. The Boulder Highway area is known for not being good.
Right.
So, you will find, more crimes taking place.
Right. But economy has been grown here, right? Oh, not really.
You mean...
During the COVID, it's just hard, right, here?
Oh, definitely.
Because no tourists, right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, the Strip was...
empty.
Shut down, downtown shut down. I mean, it was pretty wild to see so much shut down.
Yeah.
So,
but after COVID, it's recovered already.
It has gotten better. It certainly has. There were, I think, 10,000, if I remember correctly. I think there were 10,000 union workers.
Okay.
Who even a year later still had not been called back to their job.
Oh.
During that time too, some people just, even if they were not union, were not able to come back to their jobs. So some of the companies got rid of like buffets. Numerous casinos got rid of their buffet during that time. because they just figured they weren't making any money from it.
Yeah.
So numerous places got rid of their buffets, replaced them with food courts and that sort of thing. So, well, it's definitely better than it was now. Better
Right.
now than it was just a few years ago when so many places had labor shortages.
Okay, wow.
Um,
So a lot of people still don't have jobs here. Like
our unemployment rate here tends to be a little higher than the national average.
okay,
I think oftentimes about 1% higher.
right.
So, a few of the things that are unique to here is, one, so many of the jobs are based
Yeah,
on hospitality. So, some people, they might get a job working at like the swimming pool
okay.
or one of the day clubs, and they just might work that while the pools are open. And then, when pool season is over, when the weather gets cooler,
Yeah.
they just, they may stop working and apply for unemployment.
Yeah,
You have a lot of people who come just for like construction jobs.
Yeah.
So they're just here on an assignment for a construction job, and when they're done, they move, they leave,
Right.
or they're just,
yeah, yeah.
depending on the job type of work they do, they're just waiting to get their next project.
But
So
do you think most of the people from Las Vegas, like life costs and then income is not matching properly or no? I mean, like it's quite difficult to live here.
with the cost of living increasing, it's gotten harder.
Yeah, yeah,
It has. It used to be when I first moved here. I mean, dude, you could almost like, especially if you're a single person,
yeah,
like live off of minimum wage.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, when I moved here, actually Nevada's minimum wage was higher than California's.
okay. Wow.
Uh-huh.
So how much is the minimum wage here now?
Now it's at, I think is it $10.25 or $10.50?
Oh, much lower than like LA.
Uh,
LA was like I think 15 something. $5 difference.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, LA and, California in general
Yeah.
typically will push for
But
higher minimum wage. And sometimes at the city level, certain cities in California, in recent years have had a higher minimum wage than the rest of the state.
But here maybe you can get more tips here.
Yeah,
The
so that's a fact.
hospitality jobs. Yeah.
That is a factor too, where some people, yes, the minimum wage may be low for, at their job, but depending on the job they're doing, the bulk of their money, the vast majority of their money will come from the tips they make, not from their hourly wage.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's one thing that is unique about
yeah.
Las Vegas too. In this area, so many people who work in hospitality and their
Yeah.
jobs are based on tips.
Yeah, yeah.
It can kind of distort the
Yeah.
actual income levels here
Right.
because so many people make their money in cash.
So if you don't pay tips, like the waiter or like all the workers, they're gonna feel something or like, oh, this guy don't pay like tips, very rude or something.
Well, remember, tipping is not required, right?
Yeah.
It's cultural. It's a custom.
But you say that, but like inside, like people's feelings, maybe like people get like people feel like weird, like how can I say, rude?
Depending on the situation and
Depending on the situation.
and the person and the employee, they
Right.
certainly can.
Yeah.
In work I've done in hospitality, sometimes people tip you, sometimes they don't.
Right. And
So,
Yeah.
it's going to be a hit or miss situation.
yeah.
So
And for me, I don't have a tip culture, and it's quite like
different.
different, and then also like
Yeah.
get nervous. Okay, I'm gonna have to pay this, and otherwise, this guy is gonna be, like feeling bad and stuff.
I know, particularly for the foreign travelers who come to Las Vegas, it's
Yeah.
different. Like, people in Canada, they understand like tipping like a waiter, or
Mhm.
your food server, bartender, but tipping like, a bellman or like a nightclub host
Yeah.
or the slot attendant for a jackpot, like all those things are, more unique to here.
Yeah, yeah,
So for someone who comes from a country where there's not a tipping culture, it's really different.
yeah,
So, but if you generally show like you make an effort, because people who work in hospitality, they know
yeah,
that most of the world does not have like,
yeah. Tipping culture.
yeah, like we do here in the U.S.
yeah, yeah.
So if you just make like an effort, there's
Yeah.
a good chance they'll be like, hey, they understand you're coming from a different culture.
What about here? What's going on for medical things? It's very expensive, right? Like if you get like sick or something,
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not as familiar with like
hospitals.
with the medical system in like Japan versus some other countries. So
You guys have an insurance?
yeah, you could definitely buy insurance here.
Okay, but
I mean, you can. But if you don't have insurance, you can. get what the state has.
But country or state support you or no?
Say again?
The government support you?
There is an option for that,
Right.
but you're going to be limited to just whatever those options are. So if you want to have something better, you can either buy it yourself online through the open marketplace, or depending on the job you have,
Right.
that's part of your employment package.
Okay.
So
That's depend on the job too. Okay.
that's part of how businesses compete to get better employees, or companies compete, or even the public sector.
Right.
Whether you're public sector, you're a firefighter, police officer, military, or if you're private sector, you're a big casino or whatever it is, that's part of how they compete for employees and compete for talent, is to offer better benefit package, and one of those big benefits are health insurance.
So like, what about you? Obviously you're a YouTuber, so you have to get your own insurance, right? Like you're self-employed, right?
If you're self-employed, you're gonna have to you have to buy your own insurance.
How much does it cost? Like, for example, let's say per month. Depend, right?
It's gonna totally depend on which. I mean, I know people who just don't buy any.
Right.
They buy nothing. So, the downside is if, say, something happens and they need to have like a major surgery for something. They have no insurance. That can be very costly. Some people do what I did for a long time, which is just have like a catastrophic plan, where like it's a really high deductible. I think my deductible is $6,300.
Wow.
But so I had that money set aside, but anything over that amount was covered 100%.
Right.
So if I was in a bad car accident, I needed $60,000 of surgeries. $6,300 that came out of my pocket at first, and anything over that was covered. And it was what we call a PPO, which means it could go pretty much anywhere. And they would accept, my plan, my insurance. Other places have an HMO, means you have like a network of hospitals and doctors you can go to. And if you go outside of that, if you go to a hospital or doctor that's not in your plan, then you're going to pay more.
Right.
So,
like interesting systems, very different than Japan's, man. A lot of things, はい、ということで皆さん、ここはですね、ラスベガスのスーパーマーケットなんですけど、スーパーマーケットにカジノがありますよ。すごくないですか？しかも買ったら、あんまり多くないな、$1199勝てる、もらえるみたいです。
So in this area, this is where you will have illegal prostitution taking place. Lots of people in Nevada get confused because they think, at the state, they hear about prostitution being legal in Nevada, but they don't understand it's only in the rural counties.
Okay.
So here in the Las Vegas area, up in the Reno area, it is not legal.
Okay.
So
you say which one is illegal prostitutions? Here, the other one.
Well, there's several areas in Vegas where you'll see prostitution. There's numerous areas.
But here it's the US, like if you do that, you're gonna get arrested, right?
You certainly can, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's enforcement though. I mean, it's gonna depend on a variety of factors because, law enforcement agencies do what they can, but they can only do what they can. So, among the list of priorities of things they have to handle, I'm sure it's gonna vary from city to city. So
it's very risky, right? So what you?
Yeah, if you're going to engage in that, you run a serious risk. And unfortunately, there was a guy in Vegas not long ago who had cost him his life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he brought two women to his hotel room, and getting robbed would have been bad enough, but unfortunately, this situation did cost him his life. The two women have been caught, but you're definitely, if you're going to go down that route, you're definitely playing with fire.
Oh, I didn't know that. Like I saw all the United States, it's like a prostitution. It's really bad and illegals. But you say some places it's okay here, right?
In rural Nevada, it is.
Wow.
But even in rural Nevada, not every county allows it. So some counties do, some counties don't. It's just up to the county level.
So which kind of people go? Because it's like 1 hour or 2 hours from here, right? So like most of people don't want to go, like just, especially like a tourist come here, they don't want to drive 1 hour, 2 hours to get there, right? So
the overwhelming majority of people who come to Las Vegas are certainly not going to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a small percentage that are going to make that 1 hour trip out there. But I mean, they will, at least as of a couple of years ago, they did have like, you know, cars that would come pick you up. They'd come pick you up in Vegas and drive you out there.
Wow.
But they get a lot of like truckers. A lot of truckers who drive across, driving cross country.
Yeah.
Will stop there. They get a variety of people. I've seen some videos and documentaries where they interview some of the workers. They talk about just couples who want to do something more fun and exciting.
Yeah.
They get guys who come that are disabled.
Yeah.
So they either have a mental or a physical handicap or both.
Yeah.
So they go there. There's a variety of reasons that people go, but Nevada's the only state that has it legalized.
Yeah. And the interesting things you're speaking about, Nevada, it's like a huge sales tax, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in Nevada, we have 0 state income tax.
Wow.
So there's only a handful of states in the U.S. that have 0 state income tax. Nevada is one of them.
Okay.
And our property tax is lower too.
Yeah.
So the way we're able to do that here in the state of Nevada is because the sales tax is higher. It's over 8%. And the majority of that sales tax is paid for by the tourists who come here.
Yeah.
So there's no sales tax when you buy groceries if you live here.
Yeah.
But if you go to a restaurant or a bar, they do have sales tax on the food there.
Yeah.
You're going to pay, sales tax on your hotel room here, right? All those sorts of things that are largely consumed by the tourists who come here. That's how Nevada is able to have no state income tax, is because the sales tax offsets it and makes up for it.
So how much percent the sales tax, you say?
10,
8%, you say?
I believe it's over 80% of the state's revenue is sales tax, I believe.
Right, but I mean, like if you buy something, let's say $1, it's gonna get 8% of the $1, right?
I think it's like 8.38%
8.3,
or something
alright.
like that.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, we do have one of the higher sales taxes.
Yeah. So that's why during the COVID time, it was very hard. No tourists, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It was very difficult.
Yeah.
And Nevada, I think, was like one of the last handful of states to reopen.
Oh, yeah?
So I think, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was less than 10 states that were still shut down, or they were not fully open, or it was, had not gotten rid of a mask mandate. Nevada was one of the longer ones.
Oh, yeah?
It was one of those states when it came to reopening and like getting rid of mask mandates. Nevada was definitely one of the later states to do that.
Because of the tourism, or what's going on? Why?
Well, that was all from, the government, state government in Carson City. So
right.
I don't know how much of that was specifically just the governor himself, or if it was the governor plus the state Senate and Assembly. But yeah, Nevada was one of the later ones, because different states, some states would just chose to reopen. Yeah. Some states, their governors like, yeah, we're reopening. They didn't care what the federal government said. They said we're just going to reopen.
Yeah.
So some states did that, like Florida, Texas. They were like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. We're reopening and no more masks. Other states chose to keep masks, keep restrictions longer, and those sorts of things. But
when was that? It's a very long time ago, like a kind of like 1 year ago, no? That you guys opened here. Maybe more, 2 years ago.
Shutdown was April 2020. Reopened June 2020 without a mask mandate, and then a mask mandate went into place, and then removed it.
Okay.
Tried to put it back in place again.
It's a very long time ago, man. Like kind of 1 year ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but we were feeling the labor shortage. Definitely after reopening.
Okay.
For probably, I'm gonna guess another year or so.
So probably like when I go back to Japan now, I think still some people is wearing mask, man.
I mean, here in the U.S., some people still wear masks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen that though.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the majority of people.
Yeah.
But there's people here in the U.S. that still wear a mask when they go to work, and I mean, some will probably wear a mask.
Okay.
Some will continue to wear masks, probably for the rest of their lives, but the majority don't anymore.
But I saw kind of like US, it's like COVID things, it's like, disappear like a very long time ago, maybe like 1 year or like, I don't know. Because I think like when I went back to Japan last February and something, like it was quite, still like the COVID stuff is a lot of happenings there, like
In Japan?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we're quite late,
I mean,
compared to here.
Recently, I've heard a little bit about cases rising in California, and a few people have asked me if there's going to be any issues with that here in Nevada and restrictions in place. And
Yeah.
Nevada's not. There's no way. There's no Nevada as long as it was closed before with restrictions before,
Yeah.
and the amount of money that it costs, the amount of just money the state lost
Yeah.
and potential revenue.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Right.
So they're not going to be doing that again. Even if it does get bad in California, Nevada won't be doing that again anytime soon.
Right.
So
Yeah, good to know everything, man. New informations, new things. I love learning new things, bro.
I try to share what I can, man. So
Yeah.
you know.
はい、ということで皆さん、ここがですね、ウィードショップ、ウィードショップのカナビスショップのドライブスルーです。すごくないですか？ドライブスルーのカナビスショップまでがあるって感じです。で、その横にこんな感じでメキシカンショップがあるって感じなんで、僕らはこっちでちょっと腹ごしらえしたいなと思います。That looks good. It's pretty common to eat Mexican food in here too?
In Vegas? Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
はい、ということで、今日のランチとディナーの真ん中なんですけど、こんな感じです。メキシカンフード、カルネ、アサーダ、牛肉、何ですかこれ、ビーンズ、ライス、ベジタブル、あとトルティーヤがついてきて、あとソースです。で、彼はタコスです。イエス。カルネ、アサーダね。This is a chain shop or like it's like what's the name of the shop? This one?
Tacos Mexico.
Tacos Mexico. This is another place too?
I think they have 3 in the Las
3.
Vegas area. I do not think they're like a big chain across the U.S.
Okay. Mexican food is more like a salsa, right? Like Texas, here, LA, California. If you go north, it's gonna be different food, right? Not like Mexican food so much.
I mean, the farther north you go, the less you'll find.
Like this delicious, you think?
Nah.